much like we trust doctors, oftentimes when we have health issues and we go see our doctor and we generally get their advice, and hopefully it's good advice and it improves our health overall, we trust schools with our children's health, right? We trust schools with their education, and we trust them to a large extent with food, with feeding them. Many schools serve breakfast, all schools serve lunch. And so it begs the question, what exactly are our schools feeding our kids? And so what I'm going to show you today is a sample menu, and this is a sample menu from a local school district here in my hometown of Houston, Texas. And when we compare this type of menu to other schools across the country, we see things that are very similar. And so here, let's push this up onto the screen. So this is the month of October that we're looking at in this particular school. And so you can see they have different categories. They have a meat and meat alternative grain category, a fruit category, a vegetable category, a milk as a category, and then other as a category. And so I want to point out some of the things within these categories. Now the first is, if we look at Monday the 3rd as the meal menu plan, we have 3 options. We've got cheeseburger, we've got hamburger, and we've got pepperoni pizza. Now, if we really analyze those, first of all, what kind of meat are we talking about? Is it real meat? Is it fake meat? Is it organic grass-fed meat? And the answer is it's probably just FDA-approved meat. But ultimately, the cheese on the cheeseburger is not real cheese. These are Kraft slices that are being put on the bread, and so you get processed cheese on the bread. And then you also get processed bread, which is got synthetic vitamins added to it, because if you didn't add those vitamins, it would have such poor nutrient quality it would actually create disease. This is what our kids are being fed at school. Now, if you look at the fruit category on this day, it's pineapple chunks, and really nothing really wrong with pineapple chunks, but the question is, why not organic pineapple chunks? Why feed kids food that is going to contain the potential pesticide poisons? And then we look at vegetables, and you can see here cucumber slices and steamed glazed carrots are the 2 options. Really no comment there. Either one of those are, I guess you could say, halfway decent. And then you get into the other category, which is the milk category. And I don't even know why school lunches would have milk as a primary category, other than that the vast majority of the world thinks that drinking the milk from a cow is somehow a necessity for kids to grow up strong and healthy. But in this case, you can see they get 3 options. It's 1% plain milk, and that, why not fat? We're still around the rhetoric of high-fat diets being problematic and contributing to heart disease, which has been proven to be false. So why are we still serving, a 1% type of milk to these kids at school? In addition, we give them the option of a skimmed chocolate milk. So again, here we're serving them low fat because we're concerned about their weight and their health. Yet at the same time, we're offering up chocolate milk as an alternative, which, as you know, is going to have corn syrup and other forms of sugar in it. And so that's not helping them. So why even offer it? If we're worried about their weight, let's just offer them something plain as a whole, real, fresh, organic, grass-fed milk, as opposed to a 1% or a chocolate. And then we get into the other category. And the other category really kind of vexes me a little bit, because you look here, basically the other category are garnishes and condiments. And why is that even a category of food on the menu? So we have here ketchup, which, by the way, many schools get reimbursed with federal dollars because they serve ketchup, and ketchup gets classified as a vegetable in the school menu program, even though technically tomatoes are a fruit, not a vegetable. They're classified as one. And so again, ketchup, what's the primary ingredient? Number 1 ingredient in most ketchups is fructose, high fructose corn syrup. Number 2 ingredient generally is a white vinegar derived from genetically modified corn. So again, how healthy is it actually? And then we have mayonnaise, mustard, pickles, and ranch dressing, all of which, or most of which, contain sugar, dyes, and other artificial preservatives and things like MSG. So again, this is what they're feeding our kids every day. Now, one might say, Dr. Osborne, this is a little bit overblown. You're blowing this out of the water too much. I don't think so. This is every day. Remember, kids eat 3 meals a day for the most part, and this is a third of their meals. And so let's just go through this menu. So Monday is cheeseburger, hamburger, or pizza. Then we get to Tuesday, and it's a beef taco or a turkey hot dog. And of course, a hot dog is going to be full of meat glue and processed MSG and other nonsense and garbage. And then we get to Wednesday, and we've got a chicken sandwich, which is a breaded chicken, fake chicken breast that's glued together with, with meat glue as well. Or you have meat glue breaded fish, and with cheese and a roll. And then we get to Thursday and we have chicken nuggets, which again is not real chicken. It's basically chicken parts that are glued together with meat glue or tissue transglutaminase, which is a bacterial byproduct. Or we get green chili cheese quesadilla. Not a lot of nutritional value in that either. And then we get beef crumble, macaroni and cheese with breadsticks, or a cheese calzone for Friday. So again, this is the week, and if we were assessing the nutritional value of these meals, we would find that they're not on par for protein, and that most of these meals are so high in carbohydrates and so low in protein and low in the right kinds of fat. So there's not any of the right kinds of fat that we need children to get, the omega-3s, for healthy brain development and for healthy IQ, which again, they're in school and we're trying to get them to be able to learn. And so again, this is just 1 week as an example. If you scroll through the month, we kind of see some repeats. We see cheeseburger, hamburger, pizza again, then we see chicken nachos on one day, and then we see cheesy breadstick bites as a meal on another day. We see Asian teriyaki chicken, poppers with rice is another. Again, MSG, processed sugar, processed meat, lots of salt, right? All the wrong things. And when you add this up, if this is your child and they're going to school and this is a third of what they're eating on a daily basis, they're basically being carved to death with processed foods, and the meats that they're being offered and the proteins that they're being offered aren't organic, aren't grass-fed, contain high levels of omega-6, probably contain pesticides, and are an inadequate protein source for young growing bodies and young growing minds. So I challenge you, if you're watching this as parents, right? Get with your schools, demand better. We spend an inordinate amount of tax dollars every year to fund public schoolhouses and to fund the cafeteria and the meal planning. And there are a number of research studies that show when you stop feeding them this swill and you switch the menus over to grass-fed, organic, whole, healthy foods, we get improvements in grades, we get reductions in disciplinary problems, we get improvements in IQs in our children. So why wouldn't we choose those things to feed them? Why would we choose anything any different? And the only way that this is going to change is if you make the phone call, is if you demand more out of your taxpayer dollars. Instead of demanding that all kids receive iPads, which they absolutely don't need, let's demand that we start with some general sustenance that fuels their minds and brains so that we can graduate them to a level where they're productive citizens with intelligent, free thought that can make the world a better place.